That's like a true real regret. I realized that it did look bad, and that's something that I just had to swallow my pride on and accept. Alright, I'm gonna be eating a little sandwich. Grant on his way home from college picked me up a crispy chicken sandwich because it sounded so good. So just don't judge me, okay? I'm gonna be filming the like things I regret about my wedding day video because I want to share things that I didn't think of that ended up maybe being a disappointment, or just things I didn't think too much of, and just things that I regret about my wedding day. Maybe I'm not gonna be able to eat this sandwich and talk at the same time. Okay, number one isn't in order, it's just my biggest, by far biggest regret. And that is save the dates. So, I wasn't gonna do save the dates. I thought they were dumb. Hopefully I don't flash anyone. Just kind of pointless things that people throw away. And just an extra added expense that you just don't really need to spend. My main thing was I was engaged for nearly 3 years. It was a month over 2.5 years. So that's a freaking long engagement. I do not recommend it, but it was only because I was just so young and we got married when we were 18. I got engaged when I was 18. Being engaged for like so long, I couldn't do anything for years. So I was engaged, but I didn't feel engaged, you know? I wanted to do something for my wedding to get excited and to think about it. And I didn't think logistically, because a wedding does become logistics. It becomes every person, like a guest list, every person is an extra cost. So it's an extra cost of food, an extra cost of like a table spot, which is like linens and just more chairs and stuff that they'll fit in your venue. And then drinks. We didn't have an open bar, but we did provide like some drinks, beer and wine. I had like so many people on there and stuff, and we cut multiple of Grant's friends, multiple of my friends, and every single bride has to go through their list and cut their list. And it is hard to make cuts. There's a lot of people you do want there, but you have to cut them. And so I was inviting friends that are just like high school like friends. Yes, they might know you, they might love you, whatever, but if they don't know you and your husband's relationship and not close or hang out or anything like that, then you know, that's an easy way to cut that there. When the time came down to it that I had to cut, I was like, well, crap, I haven't seen them. I haven't talked to them, and Grant doesn't know them. So it was an easy cut, which it did stink, but it's like you have to cut somewhere. If you send save the dates, be logistic on it, or like whatever. That's probably not even the right freaking terminology, but like be logical. Maybe that's my time. Be logical, because you're sending someone to save the date and they might be hopeful or excited or planning, obviously, because that's the whole point of a save the date, a duh. And then they don't end up getting the invite, and it's confusing, and it's a gray area, and it's just like confusing. I realized that it did look bad, and that's something that I just had to swallow my pride on and accept, because I did feel bad for sending them the save the date and then not sending them the invite. But at the end of the day, it is our wedding, and it has to be people that know me and Grant's relationship, are close with, and you have to cut the list somewhere. Like, you can't have all this amounts of people, and that's just something I super regret, because I wish I just either wouldn't have sent out save the dates, or whoever I sent them to was who I invited, and just would have been really picky with the save the date guest list, because I didn't think that much into it. I was just excited. I do feel super confident with everyone that I invited, because those people still are in contact with me today. Oh my gosh, more Austin McBroom, or like Ace family drama. I'm into that right now. If you don't talk to people even after the wedding, or like they don't congratulate you on like maybe milestone things, like you got married, that's like a true real regret. Everything else is honestly more so, I mean, they could be regrets still, yeah, they're regrets, but they're more so just things I would change on my wedding day. But that one is absolutely a regret for sure. So the morning of the wedding, something I have is like have a calorie drink. So I'm sure brides hear this all the time. Eat on your wedding day, because you're not going to. And I was like, okay, I hear that all the time, so I'm gonna eat on my wedding day. I made a plate for myself, and I'm not kidding you, the full like 5 hours or something, I had that same plate, and I had only had like 3 bites or something, and I sat down multiple times and like tried to eat it, but I don't know if it was just the nerves or like it's such a weird morning. Like, it is just such a weird morning. And so like when I would try to eat it, my mouth was like so dry, like I could not even like swallow it. And then I would get distracted. Tell your girls like, hey, grab your things, like put them in a little bag. And that could be common sense, but on a wedding morning, like common sense kind of flies out. I want to know if this happened to you guys, but when we came back in our house, it was literally like a tornado went through every single room. There was stuff everywhere, which obviously there's gonna be stuff places and it's gonna be messy. Like, I'm not thinking it should be a pristine condition, or like I was expecting a mess, but holy crap, it was like a freaking tornado. There's just like a bunch of stuff from random people here and there, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. You can make a pile and, you know, they can get it, and that's what happened. It's totally fine. That's like the last thing you're thinking of, and it's not anything that serious. Just so things are a little bit tidied up. It still can be a mess at the end, but maybe not a tornado, okay? This one is actually really, really big for me, and that is to be in the moment and don't care if others are enjoying themselves so much. Now, I really, like, if you know me, like, I'm really not, I kind of just do what I want to do, kind of, and I'm not a people pleaser at all. I just didn't think I was gonna care so much about what other people thought, especially because it is my closest family and friends, and like it's my wedding day. I've always said, like, it's one day of your life, it is a wedding day, but people put so much pressure on your wedding day, and it takes away from the true joy of marrying your person. And so on the wedding day, I thought that was like not how I was gonna be, but it was so how I was. I didn't enjoy myself really all the way up. I'm being honest, I did not enjoy myself quite all the way up past the ceremony. Obviously it was like exciting and stuff, but it wasn't the true full effect all the way up until I like was starting to dance. I am so shocked because that's just so not my personality. Even the morning of, I was making sure the videographers had what they needed. I just kept asking my girls, how's everyone doing? Are you eating? Like, I was just like worried what other people were doing. We were leaving the ceremony after Grant and I were officially husband and wife, and we were leaving to the reception venue. I asked a friend to take a picture. I wanted to see what it looked like. And all the lights were on. When I saw the picture, I was like freaked out because I'm like, this looks horrible. The lights should be dimmed. And I was like, isn't this obvious that the lights should be dimmed? I should not have been worried about that. I shouldn't have even thought of that. I should have just been enjoying my moment with my new husband and not been caring what it looks like. And even like at the ceremony, I'm like, are you having fun? Like, I kept asking people like, are you having fun? And that's why like I can never throw a party a day in my life, because I feel like no one's having fun and like it's the most annoying, boring time and everyone's wasting their life being there. Finally, I started loosening up. Some alcohol did help. I didn't know I was pregnant, okay. Okay, so when I got my dress, mine had like some lace that kind of like came over the top that like wasn't totally stuck down. It was just like open lace. So I had to like take double-sided tape and like stick that down on me. You know, a lot of dresses have it, even like arm sleeves that are all lace, they could have that, and just things can flip up, move around in it. So I suggest to have like a trial taping, and then to like move around. Things are gonna like bunch up in weird spots, and then tape is gonna show, and I didn't know that. I just never did a trial taping or a trial move. And even like when you're sitting in the car before pictures, things just move and it messes up the tape. And then as I was getting pictures, like the one was like puckering out just a little bit. My dress fit me, it was like made for me, but the certain part was like puckering out, and I think it's because of the tape that I put on there. So that's it. That's a big one. Honestly, I know people do say like have like a little kit, and I thought that like that's like dumb and you're not gonna actually end up using it. I wish I would have had like a little kit, like some safety pins or like things like that, because it is really helpful. Maybe double-sided tape for your dress. And something for me was a razor. So bring a razor, because I do have a picture which I will insert somewhere over here, but I love it and I think it's actually hilarious. I'm gonna keep it and treasure it forever, because I don't know who it was at all, but I lifted my one arm and they're like, or no, I was down or something, so you could just see part of like the lower armpit area, and they're like, Alyssa, did you shave your armpits? And I'm like, yes, I shaved my armpits. I looked up, I'm like, see, they're shaved. And I even looked at them and all I saw was like shavedness. Well, I shaved the top of my armpits, like the majority of it, but there's like a little patch right here that was unshaved, and it was long hair. So it was a little patch down at the very bottom, but if you're at a certain angle and the way you like lay your arm, you could see it, and it just looked like your whole entire, it looks like you're gonna open up your armpit and you're gonna have hair everywhere. So I didn't realize that. I didn't have a razor, and so a razor would be something that would be pretty good in that occasion. But Grant's grandma was like, no fear, and she came over and she literally was like cutting my armpit hairs. So. Donuts, Grant's parents bought the donuts. Grant's dad's like, no, I think we should like double order. And I was like, no. People aren't gonna eat them. Yeah, donuts were gone, I guess, like right away. I didn't have any, and with kids, they obviously probably go up there and grab like tons. I wish I would have got more donuts. Donuts are something always like at the end of the day with like dancing and stuff. If you have extra, you're not gonna have extra. People will go up there and eat them, but as long as at least people are having some donuts. So I thought a donut and a half per guest was enough. I thought it was plenty. Grant's dad thought I should double it. And I was like, no, 3 donuts per person, like that's ridiculous. Some people don't even like donuts and like whatever. But for the one person that doesn't like donuts, there's one kid that likes 4 or 5 donuts. So I wish I would have listened to Grant's dad and would have went ahead and ordered more donuts, but I thought I knew what I was talking about, okay? Save cake for you to eat. I think I had like 1 bite of cake, and Grant, I don't think he had any, because you're just wanting to dance, see people have fun. Have someone designated, a mom, a grandma, someone designated to taking 2 slices of cake, wrapping it and going and putting it in the back. If you do get to eat the cake, great. Well, maybe tomorrow you can eat another piece. Or if you didn't get to eat it, which most likely you're not gonna be able to eat the cake because you're gonna be having fun and not be thinking about eating the dang cake. Then the next morning, your mom can be like, well, here's the cake that you can eat now. I'm gonna give like really briefly, this will literally take a minute for everything. Honeymoon. Me and Grant had never went to like a resort or whatever, but people that had, they'd be bringing those tumblers with them in the pool, and that way they would just go up to the bartender and they would just be like, here. They'd give them your tumbler, and then the bartender would just fill up whatever drink you wanted and put it in your tumbler. So that way you're not carrying around, first of all, you're not wasting a ton of plastic cups, but also you're carrying around something that's yours, and it just feels a lot better. That's something that a lot of people did down there, and Grant and I just weren't experienced and didn't know. So next time we go to a resort, we will bring out a cup. One of the last days we ran out of sunscreen. I think we had like 2 or 3 days left. We went and bought some, and obviously at the resort they can rack up the prices. I think it was like 18 American dollars for this one sunscreen, and we literally only used it like maybe 2 times, because at the end of the stay you already have a base tan and you're not burning like you were at the beginning of the stay. Okay, I put swim trunks question mark. We bought swim trunks off of, I think it was Shein, and they didn't have like the lining on the inside, and Grant didn't realize that until we were literally like in the pool, and he's like, Alyssa, we have to go, we have to leave, because the lining wasn't there. So when he stood up, you could see everything. If you just bought swim trunks, maybe get them wet once and just make sure that not everything is showing. So, water, drink water in between drinks. I know it's obvious, but Mexico sun or wherever you're at, the sun is freaking killer, and it'll get to you, and it's gonna dehydrate you and suck the crap out of you, and then you're gonna be like, whoo, you know. Drink water in between. Get a drink, like an alcoholic drink, and get a water. That's all. Now I'm gonna finish eating this half cold chicken sandwich. It still does sound good, believe it or not. That's when you know I'm pregnant. If you're a maid of honor, maybe listen to this video and try to implement them to help your bride. As always, you can subscribe. Actually, you need to subscribe. I was gonna say you can follow me on Instagram. I don't care too much about that, but subscribing, you do need to subscribe. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye. I'm probably literally flashing. Okay, let's be a lady.